I'm here. How is everybody today? On a Tuesday, welcome risers. God bless you. I'm glad you're here. We've got, I got to tell you about what happened yesterday, and it's pretty interesting. Very interesting. Glad that you're all here today. Welcome to the program. Good morning, all. Going to be a pretty day. I got tons, thousands of pounds of video to show. And I don't know how far we'll get today because we've got to cover this county commissioner deal. Yeah. There's lots of county commissioner news. So we'll get to it. I know. I look good enough to bury you, right? Good to have you with us today. All right, your forecast. Hell, my name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Milton Post, for hosting. Jergens Landing. All those that are participating, God bless you. Thank you so much. Like and share it. Numbers are going up, and we appreciate that. All right. Your forecast. Today, partly cloudy, slight chance of a rain shower, high near 79. Tonight, clear skies, low near 55. And tomorrow, sunny and a high near 73. Yeah, all right. Presently, it is 59 in Milton. It is 65 Gulf Breeze, 60 Navarre, and 60 in Pensacola. Hi. How is everybody? All right. I got some interesting emails back and forth yesterday after I had tried to invite Dan Sheba on the show. And so we'll get that one. Your comments, you can call in. Number to call is 771-0049. You can dial 850. Dial 850-771-0049. You can also text. No long ones. Don't do any long ones in the text. You got a long one, call it in. And no pronouns. All righty. That's how we roll. All right. So I do clean up pretty good. Thanks. All right. So, I had sent out an invitation for Dan Schiebler to come on the show. Now, we're a little bitty show. We're not important. But you are important. So I had invited him on the show to explain himself, what was going on. Now let me play the video again. It's just real brief, but I want to put everything in context. All right. So this is the county commissioner meeting when he is asked about the money for the roads. All right. There's Jerry Cooey shows up. And Jerry asks, as he does, he's a watchdog, he asks a direct question. And I want you to listen to the response. And there's no hesitancy, except for the microphone issue. So, hold on. Oops, wrong one. Sorry.
Ms. Crowder, we're just here with the kids' house. So then we have Mr. Cooey.
Jerry has a problem with the microphone.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. You can hear whatever you want to hear, so I want you to understand before I say this, non-accusatory, I just need a little information. There's a vicious rumor running around that we're not participating in the small county road funds this year. Could anybody enlighten me on that?
The small county road funds. So, they are eligible for it, to apply for it. It's worth about $1.4 million to the county. All right.
I think we're back on that, right, Dan?
We are eligible. We did not receive funding.
Yeah, we put in for it, but
We are eligible. We did not receive funding, is what Dan Schiebler says.
we're not guaranteed it every year. Representative Williamson, they worked it in the legislation last year because our population outgrew it. They put us back in. We don't know if we lost our priority place in line or not, but we do put in for those SCOP funds every year.
So we put in for those SCOP funds every year. All right. That is Dave Peach saying that.
Did we put in for them? And
So another direct question. Did we do it?
answer was just no.
Answer is they ran out of money before
Shut
they
the
got to
microphone
our
off.
project. There's about $20 million annually appropriated for SCOP for all of the small counties. And
So Dan Schiebler directly says they ran out of money. There's no hesitancy in what he says. There's no other. He says they ran out of money.
did not meet the cut line. There's an ongoing debate now in the legislature of how much
We didn't meet the cut line. So we just missed out this year on $1.4 million because FDOT ran out of money. Oh well.
SCOP is going to get this year, and we're actively engaged with the Small County Coalition trying to ensure that that program receives funding.
But we had our paperwork in. And all.
Wow. That is a pretty definite statement. That is, there's no mistake there. All right. We applied for it. They ran out of money. Now the state's working on getting some more money for them, but oh well, 1.4 million. We didn't get it this year. All right. Those are definite statements.
Yes.
So Jerry follows up. So we had our paperwork in?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Definite statement. Yes, we had our paperwork in.
Jerry, I
All
appreciate
right.
you coming and helping kill some of the rumors out there.
There's
So
no-
thank you for
there's no
for
question.
bringing that up. Okay, that's everyone I had on the public forum list.
All right. So there's then the end of it. I don't know what David Peach finds so amusing. What did Commissioner Peach find so absolutely amusing that he was chuckling? Thanks, Jerry. I don't know. But why did Schiebler lie? Now, I went back and forth on email. I had sent him an email over the weekend inviting him on the show. I wanted to show you the video because you needed the perspective, right? So I sent him an email. Say, hey, come on the show. No judgment. I'm not going to attack you. This is not a got you thing. I just want you to come on the show and just explain yourself. Just explain what happened. So finally, yesterday, I got this. Mr. Stewart, I'm not familiar with the program you mentioned, meaning Sunrise Santa Rosa. Okay. Well, if you were state, I would go, yeah. But if you're a Santa Rosa County Commissioner, I have no doubt he's not watched the program, but I'm sure he's heard of it. But it doesn't make a difference. He says, what FDOT statement are you referring to? Because I said, I want you to kind of talk about the FDOT statement. FDOT responded to your thing. He says, I'm not familiar with the program you mentioned. What FDOT statement are you referring to, as I have not seen much reporting in the press on this matter? Oh, he's not seen much reporting in the press on this matter. I have included our public information officer on this response. She should be your first point of contact for any and all media requests and inquiries. So don't bother me. You go to Brandy. All right? Now, I sent him a message back. I understand you may not have heard of the program. That's fine. What I find odd is that you haven't seen much, I put it in quotations, reporting on the matter. Here's what happened at the meeting. I included the link to the video I just showed you. And here's the response from FDOT. I included a quote. They did not submit an application this year, said Regina Battles. Battles went on to confirm FDOT discussed SCOP funding with Santa Rosa County prior to staff failing to submit an application before the March 12th deadline. And then I said, I'm just trying to give you an opportunity to explain. Mr. Stewart, I admitted my mistake the next morning/day to the citizen and the board. Please accept the below statement as an explanation. He says, and I quote, the county administrator erroneously stated, we submitted an application for SCOP funding during the most recent application cycle. County staff is regularly and routinely engaged with FDOT on transportation planning, design, and construction issues for projects within the county to include coordination on grants and programmatic funding. With staffing changes in the Public Works Department and overall review of priorities and processes, we did not have time to determine feasible projects for design and or construction to be funded in future fiscal years of the FDOT work plan, and also obtain board approval to commit funds for the required 25% match of the project costs. Now, that is not what he stated in the video. In the video, he said, we applied for it, they ran out of money. I also want you to know, FDOT called them. They went over their projects. Now, this is from FDOT. FDOT said they called them, went over the projects on the phone, and they said, okay, go ahead and submit it. Now, here, Schiebler said, we did not have time to determine feasible projects for design. FDOT goes, those are good projects, send it in. Also, I want you to know that FDOT called them to remind them of the deadline and sent several emails as a reminder to submit the application. Now, who's wrong? Is FDOT wrong? Is FDOT wrong? The administrator needs to be able to do his job. The commissioner should have confidence in the administrator. Well, I will tell you this, Kim. I followed up with the email. I did not get an answer yet. It says, why did you say unequivocally that you did submit the application when you most definitely did not? Why did you say FDOT ran out of money when they had not? So that's the question. Those are the questions. Here's my thought. You have a problem when your commissioners and your administrator does not fear you. And what I mean by fear is a respect, like an awe for God, right? So his duty is to serve the county. And when you don't have a fear of the people, lying's not an issue. Oh, erroneous statements aren't an issue. This is problematic, my friends. This is a major, major issue for Santa Rosa. You do let them lie to you. There should be, at the next meeting, there should be a horde of Santa Rosa people calling for him to step down. He needs to go. And let me tell you what this does. When you show up in a great big horde of people and you go, he needs to go. When that happens, the rest of them fall in line. Oh, these people mean business, and they won't lie to you anymore. Probably not any less, but they won't lie to you anymore. Yeah, you lie to your boss, you get fired. He's been caught. And he didn't. Well, I spoke to the citizen and the board the next day. How did you correct it? What did you say to them? You lied not just to Jerry Cooey, you lied to everybody. You lied to the entire county, and you cost us $1.4 million. And you're going to want to raise taxes to pay for your ridiculousness. Violation of transparency to lie directly to the public. We're done. This guy needs to go. and arrogant. I've never met the man, just a little bit of conversation. I've watched his stuff. I've watched some of the stuff he's doing, questionable. And then the email I got yesterday, hey, listen, yeah, I don't need to answer to you. I've already answered to them. You know what? We're done. We're done. This guy, when he doesn't fear the people, when he doesn't fear you, that's a problem. That's a problem. This is a position of power to him. It is not a position of service. And when you have that mindset, you are of no good to anybody. I don't know when the next meeting is, Kim. Maybe someone can help us with that. Look that up real quick. But organize. Get a group. Get down there and say, hey, this meeting doesn't go forward until you step down. You're done. We are the people. You lied. You cost us money, and then you lied about it. Bye. Bye. They got phone calls, reminders. They got email reminders, and they still didn't do it, and then he lied about it. So even if he, look, let me go on the off chance, on the totally off chance that he didn't know that they didn't submit it. Maybe he thought they did. He is still responsible because they work for him. And he should have been on top of that thing because it's $1.4 million. And if they didn't get it in, that's still his responsibility. What's the kicker is that FDOT, who's the one that basically approves of funding, gave them the green light. Yep. He had to submit for it. His position is hired, not elected. He's done. He lost the funding. You need to pull his funding. He's hired, needs to be fired. Good on submit a freedom of information. Yep. Ask for the emails. FDOT will give them to you. FDOT will give them to you. FDOT's like, hey, listen, we did it. We called. We had a conversation on the phone. We went over the project. We went, send them in. They meet the criteria. Send them in. And they did not. They got email reminders, and they drug their feet. Justin, you have to go back and watch it. But folks, we got some issues. We've got major issues. And if you are not to the point of just saying, not literally, but if you're not to the point of pitchforks and torches, I don't know what would put you to that spot. If you are so, people of Milton, if you are so upset with the mayor of Milton, which I understand it, and you don't do something about this for the county commissioners, you're out of control. Lying is unforgivable. Now, let me say this. He's not asked for forgiveness. He says it was an erroneous statement. He hasn't even, if he would say, you know what? Hey, listen, folks, I screwed up. I didn't apply, and then I lied about it. And listen, I'm sorry. He didn't. That may be forgivable, maybe, but he didn't. He didn't. Steven says we had a special legislation to keep SRC eligible after they were deemed too large to participate. Yeah. And then they didn't. They were grouped back in, and then they didn't. They didn't apply. Yeah. Or claim that he was on medication. Maybe he was on Ambien. I don't know. I was on Ambien. I don't know what I was doing. That would have been easier than this. Gone. Gone, my friends. He needs to be out the blasted door. And a boot print on his backside. From the collective of Santa Rosa. Get your people down there. Demand he go. When he doesn't fear you, he is dangerous. And this guy does not fear you. And again, make him an example. Because if you make him an example, the rest of them are like, oh, these people mean business. We better straighten up and fly right. Mercy. Wow. How do you, I don't know. This is beyond the pale. And I don't, this is about you. And what are you willing to take? What are you willing to take? You get mad about stuff in Washington, D.C., as you should. You get upset with the rest of well, start locally. Start locally and clean house. Regardless of Mads or of his minions dropping the ball, yes, you are exactly right. It's his job, and he is supposed to be responsible. And he's responsible to you. He's an embarrassment. Dan is busy working the commissioners, his bosses. Yep. Pack the meeting room. You pack the meeting room. This meeting does not go forward until he steps down. That's how it works. You the boss. 850-771-0049. I have a hard time. I have a hard time asking for people to step down. I do. Calling for them to go. I don't do that. This guy is a plague. He's a plague. It's too easy, Kim. It's too easy to dismiss an email. It's too easy. You got to go down there, and when they see you show up, that means business. Get a group, a big one. Get a big group. And you go down there and demand it. Demand it. Keith says Schiebler did what? Nothing. Except lie, and that's the problem. No emails to your question. You can call them, but say, hey, we're showing up in a great big group. You best be ready. They won't let us assemble. Well, then you protest outside. And you let them know there's no escaping this. Warn every employee to gather the evidence of why deadline was missed because their own head meant. All right. So here's the thing. You let him fire the minions. Let him fire those that he blames, and then they'll roll on him. Yeah. I don't know. Emails are so easy to dismiss. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Don't let it. Protest outside and call the TV station. We want his political head. He violated public trust when he lies directly to the American people or to the citizens of Santa Rosa County, and then blame it on whatever. Oh. Too far. This has gone too far. And let me tell you something, people, if you don't do something about it now, he'll do it again. Why? Because he does not fear you. He'll do it again and again and again. Also, what was David Peach laughing about? Let me play this. You can't see it, but you can hear the humor in his voice as he says this.
Jerry, I appreciate you coming and helping kill some of the rumors out there. So thank you for bringing that up.
I don't know why that was funny. I don't know why he thought that was funny. Jerry, thanks for coming down. I don't know. He's done similar things in the past. Yep, he has. This is so blatant. This is so absolutely blatant. There was several direct questions, and he responded directly. No hesitation. You can hear him off mic. I don't know. 850-771-0049. Once and for all, Santa Rosa, stand up, demand he step down. And when you do that, the others fall in line. And anytime any of them gets out of hand, you send them the video clip. Hey, just wanted you to be aware of this, and send that video clip. Jerry, you need people like Jerry. Absolutely. Is it sometimes annoying? Yeah, maybe it is. But if he hadn't called them on it, who would? If Jerry Cooey was not there to call them on that, and listen, he wasn't accusatory. He wasn't belligerent. He just asked a question. And he was clear. So we did. I'm just trying to put to bed a rumor, and I'm just asking. There was nothing wrong with that. And I appreciate the spirit with which he did it. Jerry Cooey is not the problem. If Jerry had not been there, this would have all just gone away. They are necessary. Put them on notice. We have people watching you. You need a watchdog. You need a watchdog. Oh, man. 850-771-0049. What do you think? It's high time he needs to go. And he needs to be embarrassed to stay in Santa Rosa County. He needs to be embarrassed. But I don't think he's not the kind of person to be embarrassed. He's arrogant. And he is, I don't know, he thinks he's entitled. Bye. All right. After an initial delay of more than 1 year due to permitting issues and other problems, Navarre Park construction will not be completed by July 4th. Let me show you this. I got a lot of video. There. Whew. Looks like a vast wasteland. That's according to District 4 Commissioner Dave Peach. The new project completion date is late August. Look at that. Doesn't look late August either. Navarre Park improvements were approved by the board commissioners back in 2016, but work on the multi-phase project didn't begin until October 2020. At that time, contractors had 270 days to complete the project. 2016, 270 days. Improvements for the $3.3 million Phase 1 include demolition of the former Butterfly House, splash pad, duck pond, and basketball courts completed, expanding the parking lot, constructing new walkways and seawall, building a new splash pad and restrooms, plus installation of the ADA playground and ADA outdoor music equipment with funding from Starfish Project and Navarre Rotary Club. What do you see? You see empty lot. Now, We've had plenty of good days. We've had plenty of good days. Where is the management of these things? Again, that falls on the county commissioners. It's Dave Peach's thing. Late August. Yeah, like the bridge is going to be done May 31st. Sure. Just shoot straight. James says funds are to be allocated and projects started in the same physical. Oh, I'm not sure. I don't doubt that it was started. I don't doubt that it was started the same year that it was allocated. But look at it. It is a wasteland. There's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. At the April 13th regular BOCC meeting, Chairman Peach and others wanted to increase the fines code enforcement can levy on folks like the Hartman family by hundreds and even thousands of dollars. They want to tax your dogs. Dave Peach wants to tax your dogs. Tax my dog. Why don't we tax county commissioners? Now, here is James Calkins. Look, he's standing up for you. Let me play this.
Discussion how we address that issue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I respect the majority and the will of this board. I cannot support raising fines, and there's a clear reason. It's based on our history of the code enforcement. I don't trust our code enforcement. And
I don't trust the code enforcement.
so until we address that issue, and this goes, I get multiple complaints all the time. You know, the one thing that made the media was the mulch pile. Until and I'm glad staff addressed that, fixed that, but we got a lot of problems. And until, you know, we address those problems, and I'm working on it now. And so, like I said, I'll respect the will of this board, but I cannot vote to raise fines at this moment. And so I just wanted to let that out. Thank you.
So they want to raise fines. The code enforcement is doing such a great job. And we lost our 1.4 million on the roads. Thanks, Dan. So code enforcement.
All I would recommend, go for a ride with them. It's eye-opening. If you haven't gotten in the vehicle and seen the job code enforcement has to do and the decisions they have to make, I would suggest you.
But what difference does that make? He's not saying disband them. He's just saying don't raise the fines. That's all he's saying. And have some wisdom. Look, there should be somebody with some wisdom at the code enforcement. Let's be realistic about things. And they're not. You need to ride with them. He's not saying that what they do isn't important. He said didn't trust them. But and the other side of it too is you can't let them go wild, and you can't keep supplying them the ability to go wild. Let's limit them a little bit.
Their shoes for a day and just hear what they have to deal with and
Walk
what they're
in their
out there
shoes for a
doing.
day.
Because I think since we've put them in place, they've made a huge difference in the county. And that's just a recommendation. I did it.
They made a huge difference in the county, good or bad. Good or bad. What about this poor family with a mulch pile in their backyard against the fence? Justin says, wisdom is in short supply everywhere. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Code enforcement equals want to be sheriff deputies. I agree. I agree. Get a little power. The mulch pile lady, waste photography go to for the county. Yeah. I don't know what the photography is. Today's picture of commissioners is with a different photography company. I got you. All right. I got you. They need to leave the family with the mulch alone. Oh, yeah, they do. But look, you don't walk in their shoes. So you just need to back off because you don't walk in their shoes. 850-771-0049. Whoa, my gosh. Can I give you, Kim says, I had a good experience with code enforcement. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm saying that sometimes they push the envelope. I want to do this. I want to kind of get off the heavy stuff. I mean, because this is frustrating. I want to show you something cool. All right. So this is a family in South Africa. No, these are dogs. But this is the family in a home in South Africa. Their little dog fell in the pool. They were out. The family was out, and they came home, and they couldn't figure out why the dogs were wet. So the dogs are wet. How'd they get wet? They were looking, trying to figure it out, and they started looking at the video. They had security cameras. They started looking at the video. This is what happened. The little dog fell in the pool. The big dog sees the distress, trying to help. The little dog goes underneath the water there. The big dog's worrying, trying to get it out. There you go. Now there. See, that's cool. That answered the question. They got Chucky out of the water, and everything's good. You need a little story like that once in a while. Clarity. What else? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff. I'm just irritated with that. I'm done. There's more of that stuff, but oh, this is interesting. 2 people were killed in a Texas fiery crash of a Tesla, and authorities say there was no one in the driver's seat at the time of the crash. It's not clear whether the car's driver's seat assist system was being used. A Harris County constable told television stations in Houston there was a person in the front passenger seat and another in the rear passenger seat after the wreck Sunday night in Spring. Harris County Precinct 4 Constable Mark Herman said authorities are certain no one was driving the car at the time of the crash. It was going too fast. There's nobody driving it. It's going too fast. It misses a curve, hits a tree, explodes into flames, kills both passengers. It takes them 4 hours to put out the fire because the battery keeps reigniting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, disturbing. That is disturbing. All right. More and more video. I got more and more video. DC Medical Examiner's Office has released its findings regarding the cause of death of Capitol Hill police officer. There he is. Sicknick. Sicknick. According to the Medical Examiner's Office, his death was not caused by a fire extinguisher upside the head. No. Even though the news pushed that and pushed that and pushed that, he was killed when he was beaten to death with a fire extinguisher by the rioters, the Trump supporters. Oh. Nope. He died from natural causes. He had 2 strokes. He had 2 strokes. And he died. Now, the left and the media needed this. They needed this narrative. Because now you had 4 people die from natural causes at the riots. The only one killed was a young woman shot by a Capitol Hill police officer. So, man, that really kind of messes up everything for them. The Capitol police officer that died, that was supposedly beat to death by a fire extinguisher, died of natural causes. Oops. Oops. Joe Collins, a Navy veteran, South Los Angeles native who ran against Rep. Maxine Waters of California in November, argued on Monday that she must be removed from office because she is very dangerous. Why is she dangerous? Well, she was calling for riots. You need to get more confrontational. Collins made the comments on Fox and Friends 2 days after Waters showed up at an anti-police brutality protest in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. She said demonstrators need to stay on the street and demand justice until police reform becomes a reality. Let me play the video for you again that I played yesterday. I will turn it up because I know it's hard to hear. Here she is, Mad Max. Here she is.
It's manslaughter, right? I mean...
Oh, no, not manslaughter. No. This is guilty for murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree murder.
From what happened?
First degree murder. We got to have, in the Derek Chauvin trial, we have to have first degree murder.
What you just told. What should the people do? What should protesters on the street do?
What should protesters on the street do?
What should protesters do?
Well, we got to stay on the street, and we've got to get more active. We've got to get more
active.
Confrontational. We've got to
more confrontational.
That they know that we mean business.
We mean business. You're going to give us the verdict we want, or we're going to burn it down. Maxine Waters. She appeared to shake off comments by the judge and the Derek Chauvin murder trial, who said her confrontational remarks during the weekend protest in Minnesota could result in this whole trial being overturned. Judge Peter Cahill was asked by Eric Nelson, the defense attorney, to declare a mistrial due to prosecutorial misconduct and Waters' comments at the Brooklyn Center protest on Saturday night. She was asked about the Chauvin case, who told reporters if the former police officer is not found guilty of murder, we got to stay on the street. We got to get more active. We got to get more confrontational. Nelson told the court there's a high probability that jurors will see Waters' comments. Cahill denied the request. I'll give you that Congresswoman Waters may have given you something to appeal on, that the result of this whole trial being overturned. Cahill called it disrespectful to the rule of law and to the judicial branch for the elected officials to comment on the outcome of the case. Their failure to do so, I think, is abhorrent, he said. But I don't think it has prejudiced us with additional material that would prejudice this jury. You don't think so? It's upon you whether this whole thing burns down. You give them what they want, or they'll burn it down. A Minnesota state lawmaker wants to strip convicted protesters of their access to government programs, including food stamps, student loans, and health care. Republican State Senator David Osmek authored the legislation as the nation awaits a decision in the jury of Derek Chauvin. A person convicted of a criminal offense related to a person's illegal conduct at a protest, demonstration, rally, civil unrest, or march is ineligible for any type of state loan, grant, or assistance, including but not limited to college student loans, grants, rent, and mortgage assistance, supplemental nutrition assistance, unemployment benefits, and other employment assistance. Minnesota supplemental aid programs, business grants, medical assistance, general assistance, energy assistance, read the bill. But because Minnesota is so liberal, that probably won't happen. Don't get your hopes up. Chris Cuomo doubled down. Let me get rid of Mad Max. Remember his statements about it only stops when cops start killing white kids. Remember? We played that yesterday. This madness only stops when cops start killing white kids. Well, he doubled down on that yesterday.
This has become the battleground for the ugliest politics of division. Now, I don't know if you were watching Friday night, but I said something that every one of you knows to be true. If what we're seeing in these communities were happening to kids in suburbs, to adults in suburbs, if they suffered the same fate as we see too often with these black kids, if they died in policing situations, things would change. Look at heroin, prescription opioids, meth, In poor areas, bad habits, bad families. Suburbs, we have a major crisis. We must fight addiction. Laws, legislation, help, crisis, politics. Do you know how many black girls go missing every year? They don't become household names. They're not the center of major manhunts like when they're affluent whites. Even COVID. Once it was ravaging middle or upper class communities. Well after the poor had gotten hit and hit hard. That's when it became a crisis. It's obvious, right? No. It is only obvious for the reasonable. On the rabid right, it was weaponized as a threat, what I said. See?
On the rabid right, it was weaponized as a threat.
They want your kids to die. They want white kids to die to end policing problems. Now look, on its face, that's absurd. I'm white. Why would I want that? But this is not about the facts. It's about fear.
It's not about the facts. I can guarantee that. That's why you're on CNN. Look, maybe that's why COVID became such a big deal, is because your brother stuck a bunch of old people in a nursing home to die. And there was white people in there. And your brother killed 15,000 elderly with COVID. Just saying. These people are so absolutely over the top ridiculous. Oh, I can't take them. I can't take them. I know this happened in Stillwater, Minnesota. There's a Black Lives Matter protest going on. He's trying to turn left onto the street. The guy in the car. Now, there's these motorcyclists. They are blocking traffic. All right. It is a Black Lives Matter mini parade or protest. I don't know. But watch what happens. They won't move. They won't move. The guy goes, I live here. Get out of my way.
We started Carvana. They told us that selling cars 100% online wouldn't work.
All right. So he got shoved first. The guy in the car got out and said, get out of my way. And they're like, and they get in his face and they shove him. So the cops are pulling up. The cops are pulling up. So watch. Now, they take the guy away. Now, they probably saved his life. Just saying. But they take him, they cuff him, and they haul him away. Now, they release him later on. There's no charges filed. They get him home, get his car home safe. But yeah. So there's that. And they celebrate. Hey, they arrested. Can you believe it? Lo and behold, they arrested a white man. Yep. The last few months, Americans have watched immigrants flood the southern U.S. border. It's become a situation that nearly everyone in the country on the right and the left has acknowledged is a crisis. But Joe Biden let the truth slip over the weekend when he called what's going on in the nation border states a crisis. Remember, they haven't called it a crisis, but he let it slip over the weekend and he called it the crisis. The White House is about the only entity in the country that does not see the border crisis for what it is, going so far as declaring Monday that the president's labeling of the situation as a crisis is not reflective of his administration's official position. You can't make this stuff up. Even though the Biden administration, Joe Biden, the president, said it's a crisis, the administration's official position is it's not a crisis. Holy smokes, man. It doesn't reflect the administration's official position. The president called it a crisis, but that doesn't reflect his position. Oh, I can't. Good news. Good news. The District of Columbia National Guard is activating 250 members to support local law enforcement in response to potential First Amendment demonstrations. Not riots. First Amendment demonstrations. Now, they didn't call that for the Trump stuff, but this is because of the Derek Chauvin trial, and it's going to be BLM, and so it is First Amendment demonstrations. Request was made by the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department, which has already been responding to a week of protests in the nation's capital in response to other recent police-involved incidents. The D.C. Guardsmen were requested to assist police with street closures in multiple intersections in order to provide safety in and around pedestrian areas. The activation comes the same day that closing arguments were made in the trial of Derek Chauvin, ahead of potential protests against the verdict. They know what the verdict's going to be. They know what the verdict's going to be. We're prepared to help provide a safe environment for our fellow citizens and exercise their First Amendment right. The activation is approved as needed through May 9th. Yeah. Jen Psaki's walking that back. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Here is Vice President Kamala making what she thinks is a funny. It's not funny. Watch this.
Make sure that these opportunities are equally available to women as well as men. Because there's an interesting fact, in case you didn't know, hard hats are actually unisex. Everybody's laughing.
No, nobody's laughing. You don't hear anybody laughing. Everybody's laughing. No. Here's an interesting fact. Hard hats are unisex. She points at one person. Everybody's laughing. No, you're laughing. And if they are laughing, they're laughing at how ridiculous you are. Mercy. What in the world? How do you find that? I can't. I cannot. President Biden's administration on Monday ordered departments to change the terms to use to describe immigration matters, including how to refer to those who enter the country illegally. The administration order came in the form of memos sent to the leaders of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Customs and Border Protection, first reported by the Washington Post. A Department of Homeland Security official confirmed to Fox News that several changes are being made to words that ICE and CBP will use. Alien will now be non-citizen. Or migrant. Yeah, you can use that. Alienage will be changed to non-citizenship. You can't say alien, but you can say non-citizen. Alienage will be changed to non-citizenship. Unaccompanied alien children will be non-citizen unaccompanied children. Undocumented alien and an illegal alien will be undocumented non-citizen. Undocumented individual or migrant. Assimilation will be integration or civil integration. Immigrant assimilation will be immigrant integration. They are changing your verbiage. Because Trump used illegal alien's been used for decades. They're blurring truth. When they change the words, watch out. Does it change what it means? Nope. It does not. They're just changing the words. It doesn't affect the definition at all. They are still, if they're undocumented, that means they're illegal. They're here illegally. and they are breaking the law. When do we hold the Biden administration for all the laws they're breaking? Evidently not until the midterms, when we can get the House and the Senate back. And then I don't know if we can. President Trump said he's going to run again in 2024. He's leaning very strongly towards that. We'll see. But we, wow, listen, you want to make changes nationally, handle stuff locally first. Handle stuff locally first. We will worry about the national stuff when we can do stuff then. This we can handle now. And that's a fact. There's not much you can do on a national level right now. We do need Trump back, Kim. We do need Trump back. But I will tell you this, we can't do anything about that today. This guy, yeah, you can do something about that today. Let's handle business locally and then move forward. The problem all over is that these guys do not fear you. Politicians do not fear you. And they get the spot, and they feel they're entitled. Nationally, locally, it doesn't make a difference. Only when they fear you will it change. And I'm not meaning be afraid that you're going to do, but that they have to have a respect for you. I am here to serve. And when that mindset is gone, they are useless. When they no longer fear you or respect you, they're useless. Do what needs to be done. And you start by showing up in a group at the county commissioners meeting, and this doesn't go forward until he steps down. And that's how you do it. You are the boss. They work for you. This dingle works for you. You don't work for him. He works at your will. And let's take care of business. Done. He needs to be done. Now, you should all have term limits. I know. But they don't. All right, kids. Getting out of here. Have a great day. It should be a nice day. It's kind of overcast at the moment, but it should be a nice sunny day. Enjoy it. All week should be beautiful. Love it. Love it. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like the video. Share it. The numbers are cranking. Love you. Appreciate you.